Have you ever felt that strange sensation, that prickle on the back of your neck, like someone is watching you? Eben Wenju, completely alone. Imagine that feeling, but amplified 1,000 times, deep in the heart of the wilderness. This is the story of Jake, a man who sought solitude on the Appalachian Trail, only to find something else entirely. For weeks, Jake had been one with the trail. He'd left behind the noise of the city, the constant chatter, the demands of everyday life. Out here, it was just him, his thoughts, and the ancient mountains. The trail was his companion, a rugged, beautiful ribbon of earth stretching over 2,000 miles. He'd walked through Georgia's misty mornings, navigated the rocky climbs of North Carolina, and felt the quiet peace of Tennessee's rolling hills. He was an experienced hiker, confident in his skills and comfortable with his own company. Loneliness wasn't a fear, it was a choice, a welcome embrace. But the wilderness has its own rules, its own secrets, and some are best left undisturbed. His journey brought him into the dense, sprawling forests of West Virginia. The trees here seemed older, taller, their branches like skeletal fingers reaching for the sky. The air grew heavier, thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. The usual chorus of crickets and birds seemed to quiet down, replaced by a profound, almost listening silence. Jake had been on the trail for nearly a month, and for the first time, he felt a flicker of unease. He pushed it aside, blaming it on fatigue. He was just tired, he told himself, his mind playing tricks on him. He made camp on his 4th night in the state, in a small clearing just off the main path. The sun bled out of the sky, painting the clouds in shades of orange and purple before darkness consumed everything. Jake went through his routine with practiced efficiency, pitching his tent, preparing a simple meal, securing his food bag high in a tree to keep it from bears. The fire crackled and spat, a lone beacon of warmth and light in the vast, encroaching blackness. As the embers died down, a chill deeper than the night air settled over the campsite. He zipped himself into his sleeping bag, the familiar nylon cocoon, a small comfort against the immense wilderness outside. Sleep came, but it was restless, punctuated by strange, half-formed dreams. He was jolted awake sometime after midnight. At first, he couldn't place what had disturbed him. The world outside his tent was utterly still, utterly silent. Then he heard it, a soft, rhythmic sound. Crunch. Pause. Crunch. Pause. Footsteps. Someone, or something, was circling his tent. Jake's heart began to hammer against his ribs. It was probably just a deer, he reasoned, or maybe a raccoon. Animals were common out here, but the cadence was wrong. It sounded deliberate, heavy. It sounded bipedal. It lay frozen, every muscle tense, straining his ears to listen. The footsteps stopped directly outside his tent flap. The silence that followed was deafening, stretching for what felt like an eternity. Taking a shaky breath, Jake decided he had to confront whatever was out there. Maybe it was another hiker, lost or in need of help. "Hello!" A cutout. His voice sounding small and thin in the vast darkness. He waited, his breath held tight in his chest. A moment passed, and then a reply came from the other side of the thin nylon wall. "Hello." A wave of cold dread washed over Jake. It was a voice. But it wasn't just any voice. It was his own. The exact same inflection, the same pitch, the same slight tremor of fear. It was like listening to a perfect recording of himself. His mind reeled, struggling to make sense of the impossible. Was he dreaming? Was he going insane? He stayed perfectly still, not daring to breathe. Then, the voice spoke again. Closer this time. A chilling whisper that seemed to slither right through the fabric of the tent. "You forgot to zip the tent." Jake's blood ran cold. He instinctively glanced down at the zipper. It was sealed shut, pulled all the way to the bottom, exactly as he had left it. A fresh wave of terror seized him. This thing wasn't just mimicking him, it was taunting him, playing a twisted game. He didn't make another sound. He just lay there, paralyzed by a fear so absolute, it felt like a physical weight pinning him down. He squeezed his eyes shut, praying for daylight, praying for it to be a nightmare. The whispering continued, a constant, maddening echo of his own voice, sharing fragments of his private thoughts, his deepest fears, until the sun finally began to rise. The next morning, a group of thru-hikers stumbled upon Jake's campsite. It looked like a storm had ripped through it. The tent was in tatters, violently torn open, but not from the outside in. The rips and slashes were all directed outward, as if something had clawed its way out from the inside with frantic, desperate force. Jake's sleeping bag was a shredded mess. His gear was scattered across the clearing, but Jake himself was gone. The hikers called out his name, their voices echoing unanswered through the silent woods. That's when they noticed the footprints. There were tracks in the soft mud around the campsite, but they were strange. A single set of prints led out of the clearing and moved directly toward the deepest, darkest part of the forest. There were no tracks leading away from the woods, only into it, and there were no other footprints anywhere. Not from another person, not from an animal. It was as if Jake had walked into the woods to meet whatever had been waiting for him, or perhaps as if something had walked out of the woods, stepped into his shoes, and simply walked back in. Rescuers searched for days, combing the dense West Virginia wilderness. They found nothing. No pack, no clothes, no sign of a struggle further in. Jake had vanished without a trace. His story became a whisper on the trail, a ghost story told around campfires to spook new hikers, a cautionary tale about the things that lurk in the shadows of the ancient mountains. They say if you hike that stretch of the trail at night, and you listen very, very carefully, you might hear a voice in the darkness, a voice that sounds unnervingly familiar, a voice that might just sound like your own. So, what do you think happened to Jake? Was it a wild animal? A prank gone wrong? Or something far more sinister and unexplainable? The Appalachian Trail holds many secrets, and some are buried so deep they may never be uncovered. Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoy mysteries and stories from the edge of the map, be sure to subscribe for more. Stay safe out there.